Happy Wild Card Week to all those that celebrate. If your team did not make the playoffs and they're in line at TSA on their way to Cabo, you don't got to leave. You can hate watch. We'll allow it. But hey, if your team has made it, congratulations. We've got January football. I'm Big Tuna. This is the First and Tuna podcast, your favorite nerd covering the Los Angeles Rams. What we've got today, right after this intro music, I'm going to do a 60-second recap of the Seahawks game. I know it's not top of mind and crazy important for most fans. We want to jump into the wild card stuff. So, right after this intro, let's jump right into it. Doing my best Berman impersonation, let's get this quick recap out the way. All right, Jimmy G is an experience. He in a mostly vanilla play calling by Sean McVay. 27-41, 334 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Game ended on very Jimmy G incompletion. Sorry, bro, but Niners fans, I get what you're saying now. I know everyone's talking about how good Whittington looked. He did basically play that Puka Nacua position in this McVay offense. Looked really good doing that. Ronnie Rivers, 12 carries, 48 yards. Had to take over for Corum. He's out early. We'll talk about that later. Backup O-line looked pretty good most of the day. Joshua Karty, MVP of the game. Record-setting day, 4 for 4. Had 2 bombs over 55 yards. Xavier Smith is shifty as hell on some carries, on some punt returns as well. And that's about it. Big news coming out of that stuff, though. Blake Corum injured, broke his forearm. That really sucks, man, honestly. He was starting to kind of pick up a little bit of steam. Everyone's really excited to watch him showcase why he was a second-day draft pick. Breaks his arm. Ronnie Rivers comes in. If you're unfamiliar with him, guys out of Fresno State, so somewhat localish to, mid-Cal, SoCal, whatever you want to call Fresno. Got some play time. I thought it looked really good. He fits well with this concept. Broke some poor dude's ankles at one point. Even had a run down near the goal line where I thought we were going to get a huge push by the O-line and get him into the end zone. I really wanted to see him score. Just didn't turn out that way. But he is going to be the backup moving forward. Who the third string is, I'm actually not sure. We'll see kind of what McVay says about that during the week. But yes, the Rams are playing Minnesota at home Monday night in SoFi for the wild card round. That is super exciting. We can talk about all day, like we did last episode, about how they got here and pat ourselves on the back. The time for that's kind of over. You make it to the dance, that's great. Celebrate it. But similar to how the players are doing, that's not the end of the road. That's not the final destination. They want to go win a title. Starts against Minnesota this week. I'm going to talk about them a little bit, but I just want to say Joshua Karty, best game of his rookie career, had bombs from 34, 35, 56, and 57, I think, or 57, 58. Incredible. Like, I got to watch that in person. We were in SoFi for the game, and like those were clean. Like those were good from 60. Really excited for him. I know he had some woes. He missed some PATs the last few weeks, but I think he's like 16 for 16 the last few weeks. Has not missed anything. You want to see your rookie kicker getting some confidence ahead of what's going to be the biggest games of his season this year. Really excited to see that. It gives a lot of confidence for the team that, hey, even if we only don't even get to the red zone, we're going to be able to score points from a distance. That helps the offense big time. And then one more time, Blake Corum being out. Sorry, dude. Get healthy soon. Never want to see anybody ever get hurt because it fucks with their money, fucks with their playing time. And, these guys work all season to play. Getting hurt at this time, too, is just that's depressing, man. So it came down to the Vikings and Lions on Sunday Night Football last night. Thought it was going to be a little bit better of a match. Both, 13-2, 14-2, whatever it was. Went into that game fighting for the number 1 spot. Loser is going to have to come to SoFi, which Lions just blew them out. Lions wanted it more. They're at home. They're very hot. They've been able to get their guys firing on all cylinders on the defensive side in particular, even despite being the most IR-ridden team in the league. That's really, I don't know how they're doing it. Respect to them, getting their guys fighting like that. Minnesota, though, tail of the tape is we've played them before. I think it was Thursday Night Football earlier in the season. The Burn the Boats episode that we did, that was coming right on the heel of where everyone was talking about, trade Cup. They're taking trades. What's going to happen with Stafford? Tear it down. That seems like a lifetime ago that happened, and now we're coming full circle to where they're going to be playing Minnesota in the first round. I love the matchup. Obviously, the Rams can beat them. The Rams, I feel, can beat anybody in the league with barring health and barring prep time. Like Sean McVay is Batman. You give that dude some prep time, and you put them on the biggest stage. We know that him and Stafford are going to be able to perform. They played well in the wild card last season. Obviously, won that title in 21. I think they're going to have the potential to go on a really good run this season. Got to get over that first hump in Minnesota. Kind of taking a quick peek at them. We're not going to dive all the way in today on Minnesota in terms of film and game planning. I want to save that for tomorrow's episode. We're going to just dive in. It's going to be a full film episode. We're bringing that back in honor of the playoffs. Really quickly looking at them, though, Darnold did finish 18 of 41. He was being harassed the entire night. Like, he was being assaulted. Surprised the cops in Detroit didn't get called because, boy, they floundered in the red zone. I saw, I think, 2 fourth downs where they just could not punch it in. They went full Dan Campbell mode, going for it on fourth down. He had some bad misses on open guys. The pressure had him at his worst. That was a whole tell of the tape. Justin Jefferson's open in the end zone a few times. Sam Darnold just missed it. Essentially almost like quarterback pressure forced turnovers and incompletions by the defensive line. They did a great job, man. Their defense held fine, okay, most of the game. They pressured Goff in 40% of Goff's dropbacks per NFL Pro. They forced 2 interceptions. Early on in this game, like through the first half, I thought they both looked completely beatable. And then the Detroit Lions woke up, realized, let's just go knock these motherfuckers out and win the game. And they just took over. The name of the game is going to be Sack Darnold. That's what the Lions did. They just pressured him. If you can disrupt that, even despite Cam Akers' big play, the run game, I have full confidence the Rams' run defense is going to be fine holding up. They did so against Minnesota before. It's really going to be like, how do you eliminate Sam Darnold throwing like a bunch of touchdowns in the first 6 minutes of the game like they did last meeting? If you can pressure him, if you can harass him, get him super uncomfortable, then, man, they're going to win this game. I think it's as simple as that. I don't care if Karty has to kick 10 field goals. If you get a bunch of sacks and this daycare defense, this super young defensive line can get pressure and play lights out, it's going to be a long night for the Vikings offense. In regards to their defense, like I said, they played okay, forced some turnovers. They got a few sacks as well, but they could not contain Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs was running wild on them. That guy is a superhuman. He's super fast. Rams don't have a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not saying he's better than everybody on the Rams, but they just don't have a guy like that. Like a guy who runs like 4.3 speed out of the backfield. That's not their style. Kyron Williams and now Ronnie Rivers, they're going to be more of that, like kind of David Montgomery, more thumpers. They're going to get run off like 10, 20 yards at a time, but they're not going to hit that 80-yard home run. I know Blaine Grizak has been fighting that narrative. He's been arguing that all season, and it's not a knock. It's just understanding like, hey, some guys' top-end speeds are just different in the league. That's just how it works. Hopefully the offensive line with the week off of rest is going to do them a lot of good. Giving Havenstein back is going to be great on the right tackle side. If these 5 guys up front can stay healthy, do a decent job up front, keep Stafford clean, and by all means just go back to McVay football. Run, play action, drop back, run. Like, just keep the schedule, keep the marriage between the run and the pass. Like McVay speaks about he wants to do all the time. This Minnesota defense is going to have trouble stopping the offense. It's going to be a very, very, very fun time watching a win happen in SoFi. I'm excited, man. The only other notes I really have, like I said, I don't want to take this episode super long. Just want to give a recap before we dive full into all the wild card stuff. Karty, like, hats off to him again. Ronnie Rivers, watching him a little bit because he's going to play a really important role. Kyron can't play 70 snaps. He's not going to carry it 30-plus times every single game. I know he'd want to. He probably could, but you need a backup that's going to be competent, can not only run the rock well and break some tackles, which he clearly showed he can do, What can he do in the pass game? I didn't catch anything crazy on the film where he really popped when it came to pass protection. Mind you, that is behind a backup offensive line and with Jimmy G, not Matthew Stafford. I know McVay spoke highly of Ronnie Rivers in the preseason, saying he was vastly improved, probably one of their most improved guys since last year. So going to be really curious to see how he does in pass protection. That is like the key for most running backs, man. If you want to make a name for yourself, and if you're ever curious as a fan, like, hey, maybe that one running back that's second, third, or fourth on the depth chart, like you never see him do anything crazy. Like he's not getting a lot of carries. They don't seem to use him a lot yet, but he's always on the roster. Kind of like how Ronnie Rivers has been. But he's probably doing something really good in the pass protection. He understands the offense. That's key. That's a huge part of their game. We'd love to see how he does come Wild Card Weekend on a big stage. But yeah, man, that is all I got for you guys. I just want to do a quick recap and just share some excitement. What I will end on is I will be going to the tailgate again next week, but I am not going into that stadium. I am like, I don't want to say I'm one of those guys that's, what's that word? I swear I'm smart. You know, whatever that word is, where like you don't want to do something because you feel like it's bad luck. But I've been to SoFi 3 times this year. I went to the Green Bay game, loss. I went to the Philly game, worst loss. I went this week against Seattle, loss. I get that one's not with the starters, but I was still 0-3. Yeah, I think for the good of all you, I'm just gonna not enter the stadium. Yeah, but we will be at the tailgate Monday night. That is a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun this week. And thank you for everybody that showed hospitality, gave us beer, offered food. Like, you guys are awesome. And let's see. Yeah, that's all I got. Catch us tomorrow morning. We're going to be uploading a big episode. And then Tuesday, we also are going to be collaborating with Sheriff Joe Baggs of Ram Showcase. We're just doing a combo episode. We're going to talk about playoffs, talk about some other stuff in the league. There's a lot of news that already came out even before Sunday ended, and it's just exciting. We want to talk about it. So tune in, subscribe. Love you guys, and see you tomorrow.